Hello wine people, in this video I will explain the most challenging part of the WSET Level 2 in wine course, and that is remembering all the grapes, appellations and labeling terms. I'll give you advice and I'll show you how I studied for this exam and what worked for me, and on the end we will answer 30 multiple choice questions. This video will focus solely on white grapes and their appellations. There is going to be a separate video on black grapes and their appellations. So let's go! Okay, wine people, so in this video we will be talking about white wine regions and their appellations. There's around 60 appellations that we will cover, 14 grape varieties, there's around 20 labeling terms. My advice, so like I said, for me and I believe for most of the WSET Level 2 in wine students, the most challenging part is remembering this dry information. But believe me, you know, the beginning is always challenging, whatever you do. And this the most challenging part of wine education, at least for me, is, you know, remembering this dry fact information. But something that that worked for me and works for many students as well is, you know, finding understanding yourself, understanding what kind of learner are you. Do you like to, you know, read in yourself? Do you like to read out loud? Do you like to you know, see pictures, maps? Do you like to write? All these ways are a way to retain information, and you need to understand what works best for you. For me, I like to look at maps. I like to understand where things are, and I like, you know, to organize them in a certain way. So I like to use, for example, Excel sheets, and in this video you'll see all the appellations are placed in Excel sheets and organized in that way. So remembering advice is, you know, maps are a great way to learn about wine, and I think you cannot learn about wine if you don't use wine maps. Always when you want to remember a certain information, the best way is not just to learn that fact information. Try to associate and connect other informations about, for example, specific appellations, their grapes, labeling terms, where they are located, and factors that are affecting style and quality. Create a list. Like I said, I like to use Excel sheets, and I like to organize wine, appellation, grapes, and this kind of information in Excel. And repeat. Don't expect, at least for me it takes 5-6 times for me to read and see a certain information in order for it to stay in my head. So repetition. For some people, you know, they're gonna see it once and they're gonna remember it. Some people need, like me, they need, you know, to repeat it several times. And try, like I said, these are dry informations, connecting appellation to the grape variety. But the most important thing is, especially on you know, if you're coming to level 3, is to connect this dry information with factors that are affecting style, quality, and later on also price. And on the end of this video we will answer 30 multiple choice questions. So let's go. The first white grape variety that we're gonna be talking about is Riesling. So the way that I created this PowerPoint presentation is, you're gonna see on the left side we start with a grape, country, region. When I say region, usually it's a larger area, and then appellation will have a smaller geographical area within the country. Not all regions will have their appellations. And on the end there's labeling terms that are connected to that region. All right, so Riesling, here you can see that Riesling is grown in Germany, France and Australia. And also please understand, this is for WSET Level 2. There's many other countries that and appellations, of course, that you can learn, but this is information specifically for WSET Level 2 in wines that you need to learn. So the country that Riesling is very classical is Germany, France, and Australia. In Germany, you need to remember 3 appellations. It is Mosel, Rheingau, and Pfalz. And there is 6 predicate levels that you will need to remember. But we will talk about these predicate levels in a separate video when we talk about Riesling. In France, you need to remember the region of Alsace. Like you see, there's no smaller appellations that you need to remember. And in Australia, you need to remember 2 appellations. It is Eden Valley and Clare Valley. Okay. In this video, we will not talk about specific styles of this wine. There's going to be a separate video that I will make for each grape variety and their appellation. The next grapes are Chenin Blanc, Semillon, and Fourmint. Let's start with Chenin Blanc. Chenin Blanc, you need to remember 2 countries, France and South Africa. A region in France that you need to remember is Loire. There's a specific appellation of Vouvray that you need to remember, and there's a specific labeling term in Vouvray, demi-sec, which indicates that the wine is off dry or that it has a little bit of sweetness. In South Africa, you need to remember the larger region of Western Cape, and the labeling term that they use there is old vine. For Semillon or Semillon, you need to remember 2 countries, France and Australia. For France, you need to remember region of Bordeaux, and specifically appellation of Sauternes that is producing Botrysides sweet wines. In Australia, you need to remember Hunter Valley, which has a very specific style of Semillon, and Barossa Valley that produces a fuller style of Sauvignon Blanc. Fourmint is a grape variety that is very specific for a country of Hungary, and the region that you need to remember is Tokaj. Tokaj produces similar wines like Sauternes, but they have different, it's a little bit different style. We'll talk about that in a separate video. And the labeling terms that you need to remember is Asu and Putons. The next grape is Chardonnay. Like you see, Chardonnay is grown in basically the whole world, and there's many appellations that you need to remember for WSET Level 2. There's a common question on Level 2 where you need basically to identify, for example, in which regions Chardonnay is grown, and mostly it's A, B, C, D, and then D is all the above. So you need to understand if all the above appellations are used for Chardonnay, which in most cases it is. So countries that Chardonnay is grown is France, USA, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and Chile. And Chardonnay is, like we're going to talk about, it's a chameleon grape. It reflects a lot the climate and the winemaking techniques. So there's a lot of different styles of Chardonnay based on where they're grown. Let's start with France. First region that you need to remember is Burgundy, and then there's different locations in Burgundy that you need to remember. Burgundy, the best way to understand Burgundy is starting from the top, from the north, which is the coolest part, and then going south, which will be the most warmer part. So Chablis in the north will produce the most lighter, fresher, high acidity wines, and then when you go more in the south, in the region of Mâconnais and Pouilly-Fuissé, they are going to produce more riper, fuller style. So appellation that you need to remember in Burgundy is Chablis. Labeling terms is Petit Chablis, Chablis, Premier Cru, and Grand Cru. Burgundy is organized based on the quality levels, which are based on the locations in the vineyard, and usually these labeling terms will indicate the quality level of the wine. So Petit Chablis will be the most lightest, most simple wine, where the Grand Cru will be the highest quality and the most complex wine. Then the next labeling term in Burgundy that you need to remember is Bourgogne. Bourgogne indicates the whole region. So if you see Bourgogne on the label, it indicates that the grapes can come from anywhere in Burgundy. We go to Côte d'Or. Côte d'Or is two regions next to each other. When we talk about Chardonnay, I will have a map and this will be more easier to understand. Côte d'Or is basically Côte de Nuit in the north and Côte de Beaune in the south. The regions that appellations that you need to remember here is villages of Meursault and Pouligny-Montrachet. And then in the region in the south, which a larger region in the south, which is called Mâconnais, you need to remember appellations of Mâcon, which basically means that grapes can come from anywhere in Mâcon, and a specific village of Poulet-Foussay. Labeling terms that you need to remember here is Bourgogne, is that large area of whole Burgundy, and then specific vineyards that are indicated by terms Premier Cru and Grand Cru. France, in south of France, the region that you need to remember is Languedoc-Roussillon. So this is the Mediterranean part of France, that is the most southern part. So you can understand that that in Languedoc-Roussillon, Chardonnay will be more riper than let's say in Chablis or Côte d'Or. The large appellation that you need to remember, labeling term, is Pays d'Oc. It's a EGP. In California, in USA, you need to remember Los Carneros, Sonoma, Napa Valley, Santa Barbara County. North of California, there's a region of Oregon that you will remember. In South Africa, the large region of Western Cape, and a more specific appellation of Walker Bay. In Australia in southeastern Australia, actually it's the region, the appellations that you need to remember is Adelaide Hills and Yarra Valley, but actually Margaret River, where here it's actually not in southeastern Australia, it's in Western Australia. Okay. In New Zealand, regions of Marlborough, which is located, so New Zealand is two islands. Both of them are in the actually Marlborough is in the south, and Hawke's Bay is in the northern island. In Chile, Casablanca Valley, a cool climate region, and then a more bigger, warmer area of Central Valley. Sauvignon Blanc. Countries that you need to remember is France, New Zealand, Australia, Chile, South Africa, and USA. And we'll start from the top. So in France, you're going to remember the region of Loire. Three specific appellations of Sancerre, Poulet-Fumé, and Touraine. Don't confuse Poulet-Fumé, which is for Sauvignon Blanc, and Poulet-Foussay, which is in Burgundy, for Chardonnay. In France, you also need to remember Bordeaux. Appellations of Bordeaux, which is the whole region, Graves, and Pessac-Léognan. In France, also Languedoc-Roussillon. Languedoc-Roussillon basically makes a lot of different grape varieties, and the appellation of Pays d'Oc, which is a large area. In New Zealand, you're going to remember Marlborough. In Australia, you're going to remember again Margaret River, Adelaide Hills. Chile, again Central Casablanca Valley and Central Valley. There's two specific appellations in South Africa for Sauvignon Blanc, Constantia and Elgin. and then in USA it's Napa Valley. I understand, you know, these informations are, I mean, there's not much I can explain here. When we go to specific grape varieties, you know, we'll talk about other stuff that have more, you know, connecting the region, the location, the grape style, and also the factors affecting the style. So that's more interesting. But this is something that, you know, that you will overcome. You know, I understand it's challenging now, but believe me, with repetition and with time, you know, this will come your second nature. Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris, it's the same grape variety, but two different styles. Two regions, two countries that you need to remember is Italy and France. Pinot Grigio is a term used for a lighter style for Pinot Grigio in Italy, especially in northern Italy, and Pinot Gris is a style that is produced in the region of Alsace, which is more riper, fuller, and more complex. So the region in Italy that you need to remember is Della Venezia, appellations of Veneto IGT, which is a larger area, larger region, and then a more specific appellation of Friuli, or Friuli for short, but Friuli Venezia Giulia, if you want to say it fully. In Alsace, you need to just remember Alsace, but there are specific labeling terms connected with Pinot Gris here. It's Grand Cru and Vendange Tardif. Let's go. Gewürztraminer, Viognier, and Albarino. Gewürztraminer is connected with France, again with the region of Alsace. There's Alsace has noble grape varieties, which Gewürztraminer, Riesling, Muscat, and Pinot Gris are called noble grape varieties. And then the same labeling terms, Grand Cru and Vendange Tardif. Viognier is a grape in France, in south of France, in the region of Rhône, but there's a specific appellation that you need to remember, Condru. In Spain, white grape variety that you need to remember is Albarino, from region of Rías Baixas. Also consider this video and this information as a puzzle. So you're going to attack the wine information from different angles. You're going to learn it in a different way, by writing, by talking, by, you know, testing your knowledge. So, you know, when you put all this together, you're going to get a full puzzle. Italian grapes that you need to remember is Cortese, Garganega, Verdicchio, and Fiano, and each of them, they have their own specific region and appellation. So for Cortese, the region of Piedmont, the appellation of Gavi. Garganega, the region of Veneto, and it's basically the same region, but specific appellations and style. Soave is the whole region. Soave Classico is a more specific, smaller region. And then Recioto do Soave is actually a style of wine that indicates that the wine is sweet. The two labeling terms that you need to remember is Classico and Recioto. Verdicchio is specific for a region of Marche, and the specific appellation is Verdicchio dei Castelli di Gessi. Fiano in southern Italy, in the region of Campania, grape variety appellation is Fiano di Avellino. A lot of information. Let's see. I don't expect that, especially if you didn't read the book, WSET Level 2 in wine book yet, or you didn't read it a couple of times, I don't expect that you're going to do great on these 30 questions, especially because the way that I did these 30 questions, it's quite challenging. But also you need to understand that every question with A, B, C, D, you know, it's a question within the question. So all the questions that I didn't know before was actually the questions that I remembered very well later on, because I didn't learn them well. So also, always when you see the options of A, B, C, D, you always need to ask yourself, okay, what is Mosel? Where is Mosel? What's the grape variety? Where is it located? And for each A, B, C, D. Okay. So which is not a region in Germany? Mosel, Rheingau, Pfalz, and Alsace. The correct answer is D, Alsace. Alsace is a region in northeastern France. Which is not a classic region for Sauvignon Blanc? Hunter Valley, Barossa, Sauternes, Margaux. The correct answer is D, Margaux. Margaux is a specific appellation for red wines in Bordeaux. Which is appellation for Cortese? Gavi, Chianti, Soave, Valpolicella. The correct answer is A, Gavi. Chianti will be for red wines, Soave will be for white grape, but which one? And Valpolicella will be for Corvina red grape variety. Which grape is used in Tokaj? Cortese, Garganega, Furmint, Riesling. The correct answer is C, Furmint. Which is not a village in Burgundy? Beaune, Vouvray, Meursault, Pouilly-Fuissé. The correct answer is B, Vouvray. Vouvray is a appellation for Chenin Blanc in Loire Valley. Which grape is used for Vouvray? Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, Semillon Blanc, Pinot Gris. The correct answer is B, Chenin Blanc. Which is the most north region? And like I said, these questions are not maybe the best style of WSET questions, but they test your knowledge and they make you think about information. And believe me, when you get WSET questions, if you can answer these questions, it'll be more than fine. Which is the most north region? Languedoc-Roussillon, Chablis, Mâconnais, Côte d'Or. So here, this is a question that will, that will trigger for you to understand where is the location of this region. And then later on, you can also think, okay, based on the location of the region, how the location is affecting the ripeness and style of that wine. So the correct answer is Chablis, B, is the most north of this. Which is not a classic region for Sauvignon Blanc? Casablanca Valley, Constantia, Meursault, Sancerre. The correct answer is C, Meursault. Meursault is a village in Burgundy for Chardonnay. All the rest are cool climate or moderate climate appellations for Sauvignon Blanc. Which region in France produces Pinot Gris? Bordeaux, Burgundy, Alsace, Rhône. The correct answer is C, Alsace. You'll see that regions like France, they have their appellations and they have specific grape varieties that is grown in each of these appellations. Which region produces Albarino? Ribera del Duero, Rioja, Rías Baixas, Catalunya. The correct answer is C, Rías Baixas. Ribera del Duero, Rioja, and Catalunya are more specific for black grape varieties like Tempranillo and Garnacha. I spelled the appellation here wrong. My apologies. The appellation is Condroux. Appellation produces is based on which grape? Sorry for the English. Chenin Blanc, Viognier, Semillon Blanc, Riesling. The correct answer is B, Viognier. No, so Condroux is a specific appellation in northern Rhone that specializes in Viognier grape. Which is not a Italian appellation. Gavi, Soave, Chianti, Grave. The correct answer is D, Grave. Grave is appellation in Bordeaux, in south of Bordeaux, the city of Bordeaux. Which is not a region in USA? Oregon, Carneros, Western Cape, Sonoma. The correct answer is C, Western Cape, which is a large region in South Africa. Soave wine is based on which grape? Pinot Grigio, Cortese, Garganega, Verdicchio. The correct answer is C, Garganega. Verdicchio dei Castelli di Jesi is located in which region? Toscana, Campania, Piemonte, Marche. The correct answer is D, Marche. Fiano di Avellino is located in which region? Campania, Piemonte, Veneto, Toscana. The correct answer is A, Campania. So now what you want to do when you see this question, if you don't know where is Campania, you're gonna look for a map of Italy, wine map of Italy, and you're gonna see where Campania is. And then you're gonna see where Fiano di Avellino appellation is. And you don't need to wait for WSET books if you don't have. If you have WSET books, they have great maps, but use Google. I mean, there's so much wine information that you can learn from. But WSET structure is very good because it gives you structure, direction, and what you need to start learning. And then when you learn that, then you can expand. A labeling term Recioto is used in which appellation? Chianti, Soave, Gavi, Verdicchio dei Castelli di Jesi. The correct answer is B, Soave. So we said Recioto, sweet style. Labeling term Vendange Tardive is used in which region? Alsace, Bordeaux, Rhône, Burgundy. The correct answer is A, Alsace. Vendange Tardive indicates that it's a late harvest, and then late harvest could create sweet styles or dry styles, but definitely fuller, riper styles. How many predicates wine labels there is for German wines? And honestly, this kind of question is not part of WSET, but it's just for to test your knowledge, to pinpoint you this information. So 6, 7, 5, 8. The correct answer is predicates. There's 6 predicate levels, so A. Labeling term ASU is used in which country? Australia, Hungary, Germany, South Africa. Correct answer is B, Hungary, in Tokai region. Which region is not located in New Zealand? Walker Bay, Martinborough, Central Otago, Hawke's Bay. The correct answer is A, Walker Bay, in South Africa. Which region is not in Australia? Adelaide Hills, Margaret River, Clare Valley, Constantia. The correct answer is D, Constantia is appellation in South Africa. Which appellation is not in Loire? Sancerre, Pouilly-Fuissé, Pouilly-Fumé, Taurin. The correct answer is B, Pouilly-Fuissé. It's located in Burgundy. Which is not a classic region for Riesling? Alsace, Moselle, Clare Valley, Constantia. The correct answer is D, Constantia. Which is not a classic region for Pinot Grigio? Alsace, Friuli, Delle Venezia, Taurin. The correct answer is Taurin. Taurin is appellation in Loire Valley. Which is not a classic region for Sauvignon Blanc? Sancerre, Constantia, Casablanca Valley, Hunter Valley. The correct answer is D, Hunter Valley. It's a specific appellation for Semillon in Australia. Which is not a sweet wine? Sauterne, Tokayasu, Old Wine Chenin Blanc, Soave Recioto. The correct answer is C, Old Wine Chenin Blanc. It can be sweet, but in this case, you see the other 3 are sweet wines. Which is not a region in South Africa? Western Cape, Hunter Valley, Constantia, Elgin. The correct answer is B, Hunter Valley. It's located in Australia. Which region is not located in southeastern Australia? Adelaide Hills, Clare Valley, Barossa Valley, and Margaret River Valley. The correct answer is D, Margaret River. Which is not Italian grape? Fiano, Garganega, Albarino, Cortese. The correct answer is C, Albarino. It's a Spanish grape. Wine people, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I understand that it was that this kind of informations are dry. They're challenging at the beginning, but if there's no if it's not challenging, you're not gonna progress. That's in wine, that's in general. Like Rocky says, no pain. Please let me know how well you did now. Please let me know if you have any questions. This video will expose things that you don't know, but these are the things and information that now you will attack and you will get better. So please let me know how well you did now, and please let me know how you will do in the next video, in the third, in the fourth, in the fifth, when you watched. So I'll see you in the next video.